So, you've successfully scheduled your first school assembly. Now, how do you make sure that it goes off without a hitch? We have a few more tips for you. Check your invoice. Make sure that you got it. If you didn't, contact us. Make sure the invoice is correct. Double check your contact information, the venue address, contact, email, phone number, and look and make sure that the date, time, and price is accurate. Make sure that the correct program title that you thought you scheduled is indeed scheduled. Return your service agreement to us within 30 days along with your reservation fee to make sure that your date is safe. Prepare the remaining balance of your invoice so that payment can be ready on the day of the show. You could hand it to your presenter or mail it to us. We also accept credit cards, purchase orders, direct deposit. If you're not sure how you should handle the remaining balance, contact us. We will make sure that the presenter gets paid upon receipt. Again, make sure that you have double checked the start time for your program. You want to make sure that everyone knows what time it is happening. Expect to hear from your presenter the week before the show. Contact us if you have not heard from your presenter. At the very least, let them know directly when they contact you prior to the show when the show is expected to start. Most presenters will show up an hour before the show starts. You also want to make sure that everyone is aware of the presentation times. If you haven't already, make sure that you communicate with the presenter, the booking agency, that's us, the school principal, the assembly liaison, the building supervisor, teachers, staff, and any other parties as needed. Another tip is to allow timing for transitions between shows if you're scheduling multiple assemblies. Most of our shows are about 45 minutes, and most schools set their show times an hour apart, like 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. And that 10 to 15 minutes in between shows allows the first group of students to move out and the second group of students to move in before the start of the second show. Something else that's very important is to double check the space requirements. All of our programs have listed on their individual web pages on our website what kind of space requirements they need. Most of our programs are adaptable to a variety of venues. Make sure you are aware of the venue at the school where your assembly will be presented. Will it be in an auditorium, a gym? Do you need chairs? Do you need tables? Is the space indoors or outdoors? If you're planning on outdoors, you must have an indoor backup plan for the event of inclement weather. Make sure you've gotten in contact with the person responsible to help you access the venue so you are aware of the particulars of your space and can tell what is needed for the assembly. Most assemblies will need access to an electrical outlet at the very minimum. Some will need access to your sound system. Make sure that you have access to the space or can connect your assembly presenter with who does. All of our programs require at least 15 minutes to set up. More likely, it'll be 35 to 45 minutes. Sometimes it will be longer. Teardown is usually a little shorter than setup after the show, but that also needs to be considered. If your assembly is going to be in a shared space, such as a cafeteria or multi-purpose room, consider timing for setup and teardown in addition to the time for the assembly itself. Let's talk about sound specifically. What's the scoop? Some of our presenters travel with their own sound equipment, but some will need access to yours. Some might require the ability to plug in their iPod or a computer. They might need your microphone or they have their own microphone. So check with your presenter about their sound system and technical needs. And again, contact the person at your venue that has the knowledge of how to use that. You may need to put the presenter in contact with whoever that person is. They may also need to be accessible before and after the show to help the presenter with setting up the sound. If it is appropriate for your school, you might reach out to the local media like the newspaper, radio stations, to let them know about the outstanding educational opportunity that you've invested in for your students. If you have alerted local media and are expecting a visit from them, please let your presenter and us know. We would love to share the links about the coverage. Our presenters will be in touch with you the week prior to your show to go over your questions and accommodate any details. Make sure you check your junk or spam folder for an email from the presenter. We also email an assembly reminder the week prior to your show just as a courtesy reminder. If there does happen to be a school closure due to weather, please notify us and your presenter first and foremost immediately. We will always make every effort to reschedule for another date when the weather clears. Parking is a big deal. Make sure that you provide convenient and cost-free parking to your artist. They will need easy access to your performance space to unload their equipment, and they will also need a place to park their vehicle during the show, as well as easy access to their vehicle following the show so that they can pack up their equipment. Most of our presenters will arrive an hour prior to your show to check in at the school and begin their setup and attend to any last-minute items. Please be available to greet your presenter upon their arrival to your school. If you're not available, appoint somebody who can be and communicate with us and the presenter ahead of time about who that on-site contact is. Even doing something like giving your presenter a bottle of water is very much appreciated and goes a long way. Most presenters need 30 to 45 minutes before and after the show to set up and tear down. Some need more time, some need less time. So double check with your presenter about the time that they need before and after the show. Check with the school principal or your school office to find out if there will be an introduction given to the presenter or if they're supposed to just get started and do their thing for the students. There may also be someone that wants to talk after the assembly to close out and dismiss your students. We highly encourage you to get pictures and videos, small clips during the assembly so that you can share them on social media and with the presenter. Double check and always notify your presenter if you do plan on taking pictures or videos. And of course, please share the clips with us. We have an active presence on social media and would love to share the love. Now, with all of that, it's time to enjoy the show. You've done all the work to get prepared for this moment, so sit back and enjoy it. Not only will your students be engaged and entertained, but your school staff, faculty, parents will also really enjoy our programs as much as your students do. After the show, please submit a review. It only takes a few minutes, and we will share all the feedback with our presenters. And they love hearing from you. It's incredibly valuable for all of us. And now that you've had a great assembly, it's time to schedule your next one. Reach out, give us a call, fill out and submit the request information form on our website, or send us an email.